when we were campaigning to get the 28 pages on the 9/11 Commission report dealing with Saudi involvement in 9/11, and we were discussing this with the aide. And the aide of Adam Smith, the top aide of Adam Smith said to us, look, everyone knows in Washington that the Saudis were involved in 9/11. And yet the biggest supporter of Saudi Arabia in the Congress is Adam Smith. Why do they support terrorism? Why do they support the Saudi terrorists? Because this is how you create the new world that they're talking about. Right? This is how you create it. You create it through terrorism. You create it through the drug trade. You destroy civilization. You use the environmentalists to shut down the economic development. You keep people backward. This is what you're dealing with. Okay? So Trump has 3 Marine generals. I believe they're all 3 Marine. I'm not sure if they're all 3 Marine generals. They are now running national security and the military and homeland security. All right, so what gives here? Well, that means that these people, and these are all the generals that Obama fired, or Obama got rid of, or Obama hates, or who hate Obama, or who hate the policy. Our military personnel who have been going in and out of these countries, Afghanistan, Iraq, etc., they know that the United States is supporting terrorism. They know the president is running drugs, is involved in running drugs on the United States. They're risking their lives for this. It's demoralizing to the U.S. military. They all know this. And so what Trump is doing, it appears, is he's bringing people in to reorganize the military to fight this, not to actually fight this, and work with the Russians, not go against the Russians, not go against Assad, not go against the government, the actual secular governments in the region. So this is what's going on. So this is why the media is freaking out. Why are they freaking out? Because potentially this is what has to be dealt with. And it's not going to be dealt with without working with the Russians. You're not going to deal with this without working with the Russians, collaborating with the Russians. And this is Obama, this is Hillary Clinton, this is the whole establishment of the United States is behind this crap. Well, not all of the establishment, a lot of them aren't, but this is what's been running our country. And they're going berserk. And I hope they continue to go berserk. Now, so the wall itself is not a solution. It doesn't solve the problem. But it's the idea that you have to do something about all of this. You have to do something. And what you have to do is work with work with the government of Mexico. But how are you going to work with the government of Mexico when they're living? Every politician that doesn't take a bribe is afraid that his children are going to get killed. How are you going to work with Mexico? You know, you can say, well, we want a war on drugs. No, you're not going to have a war on drugs. The drug traffickers run Mexico on behalf of the British. And we're supported by the Obama administration. No, you're not going to have a war on drugs. How are you going to have a war on drugs? They have to know that you're serious about doing something about it. And Trump hasn't proven that to the Mexican elite, to the Mexican leadership of Mexico. And you're not going to do any of that if Mexico is starving or if Mexico is economically disintegrating. So you have to get the Chinese involved in developing Mexico because the United States doesn't have the means to develop Mexico. It doesn't even have enough means to develop itself. So the Chinese have to be your partners because the Chinese are going to help Mexico develop. That's what they've been trying to do. Obama blocked them from developing Mexico. So that's what this is all about. So he has to work with China. He has to work with Russia. He has to work with China for the economic development aspect because you're not going to solve these problems. You're not going to solve the problem in the Middle East without expanding the One Belt, One Road that the Chinese are pushing and integrating all these areas into that massive development that's there. You're not going to solve any of it. You're not going to be able to deal with this. So is Trump going to continue the mistake that every president has done in the last 30 years with that special relationship with those British double, triple stabber, backstabbers, quadruple backstabbers, or is the United States going to say no? We're going to work with Russia and China. That's what's on the table right now.